everyone! Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to talk about something that's been bothering me for a long while. I've been holding off on talking about this because honestly I feel a little anxious criticizing my favourite video game, and I know that not everyone in the world is going to agree with me, and I don't want to have too much negative energy on my channel, but I've just been holding off on talking about this for so long that I've decided I'm just going to talk about it today. So before I start, I do just want to make it clear that I love Animal Crossing. I've played all the games. My username is loulou-crossing because I adore these games so much. I've played them since I was a child, and I just want to make it clear that me criticizing the game doesn't mean I hate the game, and if you disagree with me, that's not me calling you stupid or anything like that. Everyone's opinion on this is valid, so I just want to make that really clear that if you disagree with me, that's okay. And I just really want to make it clear that I don't hate Animal Crossing. I love Animal Crossing. It's like my entire life. So with that out of the way, today I'm going to be talking about the problem with villagers in New Horizons. So first off, immediately I'm just going to get this small part out of the way. The villagers' personalities in New Horizons are so watered down, so boring, and it feels like almost every villager of the same personality is just the exact same person. I won't be talking about the specific factor in detail in this video because I think other people have already spoken about this way better than I ever could, like Tama Hiroka, who made an amazing video discussing this issue with villagers in New Horizons, so I'll link that below if any of you haven't seen that yet. I'd really recommend giving it a watch, especially if you haven't played previous Animal Crossing games, or you have and you've noticed this issue with the villagers in New Horizons. So just to let it be known, yes, I am aware the villagers' personalities in New Horizons are so plain compared to previous games that it's really just extremely heartbreaking, especially for long-time fans of the series. I can't have some of my favourite villagers on my island because they'll have the exact same personality type as another one of my favourites, which means they literally will just say the exact same thing to me every single day, and it really sucks. I've even noticed people in my comment section pointing out that when I play City Folk, that it seems like I'm having a lot more fun than when I play New Horizons, simply because the conversations are so much more interactive and so much funnier than in New Horizons. So hopefully this is something they can improve in the future. But as of right now, the conversations in New Horizons are kind of really boring and there's not much variety, and they haven't managed to change that in over a year. Other than the villagers' personalities, today I mainly wanted to talk about the villagers' houses. And I know that's something you're probably thinking, what's wrong with the villagers' houses? So let me get into it. Throughout the entire Animal Crossing series, a villager's home has always shown off their hobbies and personality. Take my favourite villager Ruby for example. She's based off a Japanese story about a rabbit who lives on the moon. You probably wouldn't expect anything like that when you first meet Ruby. She's a white peppy bunny who wears a t-shirt with her own face on. But then when you walk into her house, you see this giant moon in the middle. She also used to have this lovely sofa in some of the games since she's a peppy and girly character. Sure, she lives on the moon, but that doesn't mean she can't have a cute sofa to chill out on. She got her iconic moon in the middle though, which means I wasn't too fussed about it, but unfortunately she does have no other elements in her house showing off her peppy personality. But overall it's pretty decent, and honestly I'm not too bothered by it personally. But now let's take a look at another villager. Let's use Flora as an example. Flora is a pink peppy flamingo character who has an adorable house filled with pink furniture from the Lovely series. She has a cute little GameCube to play on, she has a mobile phone to call her friends, a stereo to listen to music, a vanity to do her makeup, a little ukulele to play music on since we all know peppy villagers all want to be pop stars. Flora's house was just absolutely adorable and lovely, and I think it was perfect for her. But in New Horizons, you want to know what they did? This.
Oh my god.
It's an empty room with 5 flamingos. That's it. So they had all this stuff in Flora's house matching with her personality and hobbies, but in New Horizons it looks to me like they literally took 1 second to look at Flora and thought, oh, she's a flamingo, what should we do? I don't know, let's just make a flamingo exhibit. And that was that. They don't care about Flora's hobbies, her personality, or her comfort. I mean, she doesn't even have a bed. It just feels like no thought was put into her home. If I had Flora on my island, I would feel so sad whenever I go into her house because it's just so lifeless. It doesn't feel like Flora at all. It just feels like a flamingo's house. It's not Flora's house. Does that make sense? One reason why they may have just given up on decorating Flora's house the way it used to be is because if you take a long hard look at all these furniture items, do you recognize any of them from New Horizons? Nope. Hardly any of these furniture items even exist in New Horizons. So it seems like instead of adding them into the game, they just took whatever they had made, like the flamingo ornament, and went, that'll do. And this seems to be the case with a lot of villagers' houses. Take Aurora, for example. She's an adorable, kind penguin whose house has been almost exactly the same in every single Animal Crossing game. She has some colourful items here and there, she has the starry wallpaper, so I imagine she loves stargazing, and she has a lot of items to make it a nice and cozy place for her to live in. But as you've probably seen already, this flooring and a lot of these items don't even exist in New Horizons. So what did they do, you might be asking? Well, they gave her an ice cube house. Yep, she's a penguin, so an ice cube house works, right? And wait till you hear the next part. Almost every single penguin villager has an ice house, plus Eric. All of them have almost the exact same house. Why? Because they're penguins, so it's fine, right? And this way they only had to make one furniture set for all of those villagers' homes. Why put the effort into making every villager's space unique and special to them when you could just say penguin equals ice house and be done for the day? It's so unfortunate, and honestly I don't blame the developers of the game at all. I know for sure that the people working on this game were very rushed and overworked and were genuinely trying their best and probably had much more important things to worry about in terms of the game's development than everyone having an ice house. I'm not blaming any of the wonderful people who put so much love and care into this game for any of this, because making a video game is insanely difficult, and trying to make perfect individual home designs for over 300 villagers that every player is going to like, that's even harder. But I think that treating characters that are so special to all of us, just like ornaments whose home furnishings are determined by their species, isn't okay. I think a lot of people have a similar opinion with many things in the game, like the stupidly long menus and the characters serving no purpose anymore. Nobody blames the people working on the game, and nobody thinks that we could have done it any better ourselves, given the time constraints they were under. But when we've had these features in old games done so well, it's just such a shame to see it treated like this in this game. So before we head into the next segment, I just want to show you guys a few of my least favourite house changes in New Horizons. First up is Anchovy, my favourite bird villager. I love this guy. This is just a small one, because his house is kind of weird, but it's Anchovy, you know, it's perfect for him. The thing that bothered me in New Horizons was they didn't even give him the right piano, despite this piano actually existing in New Horizons. It's just weird. I don't know why they made that decision. Next up is my favourite sheep, Baabara. She is such a queen. As you can see, her house is serving glamorous and chic grandma vibes. She has all this old-fashioned furniture, it's classic, it's classy. And then in New Horizons, we have, what is this? A funeral parlour? Why is all the furniture so dark and sad? Why does she have a towel on the floor? Why does she have not one but two places to wash herself and a massive TV on the wall? Why? I think they were going for a spa theme, but it makes no sense. Baabara should never have to be seen with a house like this. Next up is Gala, the most adorable pink piggy. I love her so much. In the old games, I will admit her house is kind of weird and ugly sometimes, but she had a place to bathe, a place to sit, a place to sleep, and I think all that is perfect for a kind villager. But in New Horizons, what did they do? Well, they saw a pink pig and thought, piggy bank. Let's give her a bank as a house. Yes, you heard that right. Her house is literally a bank, complete with gold bars behind a jail cell. Next up is my favourite frog villager, Drift. In the old games, he had a western themed house, then his house changed to a jungle theme, which I personally think suited him a lot better. He has lots of plants, a place to sleep, a place to eat, a place to watch TV, and I love it. I think it's a super cute house for a frog like Drift. But in New Horizons, he has a black metal house with a skull stereo playing the most obnoxiously loud heavy metal music that you can't get rid of. There's no colour, plants, and no outdoorsy feel to it. It just feels like you're standing in a dark, sad metal can. I hate it so much. Drift deserves so much better, and as a froggy, you could have at least given him a couple of plants. Come on. They didn't even try to make the house match the species on this one. And next is Pashmina. She's super cute and I love her design. In previous games, she had a gothic, very fancy looking house. I honestly think it suited her really well. And then for some reason in New Horizons, they turned her house into a cafe.
Oh my fucking god, she fucking dead.
Why? I have no idea. And it's so bright red and obnoxious too. She has nowhere to sit or sleep. I feel like it doesn't suit her at all. And where did all the cozy vibes go? It makes me so sad. And there are so many more villagers I could talk about, but I would be here all day. But this isn't even the only issue when it comes to villagers' homes in New Horizons. We also have the starter villager problem. Now, if you've played New Horizons, I'm sure you've run into this issue or noticed this problem in the game. But if not, I'll go over it for you. So, when you first start New Horizons, you move onto the island with two villagers. Fuchsia and Lyman! Oh my gosh! I love Fuchsia and Lyman, they're both from my new Leaf Town. You all have tents and start off with pretty much nothing. As you progress in the game, you make enough bells to pay back your loan to Tom Nook and get yourself a house. On the morning of getting your house, you'll walk up to your villagers' tents to realise, wait, these aren't tents, they're houses. That's right, the villagers' houses progress along with yours. This is an amazing feature. I love this feature so much. And so you go inside their homes and realise that just like you, they don't have much furniture or anything going on inside. So this encourages you to expand your house even more and decorate a bunch. So you put in all this work to make bells, collect furniture, pay off your next loan, and you wake up the morning of your home expansion to see your house has obviously expanded. So after that, you run to your villagers' homes to see that they still have no furniture. So you think to yourself, oh, it must be the next time I expand my house they'll get that beautifully decorated house I saw in the trailer for the game. So again, you work super hard decorating your house and paying off your mortgage until it's completely expanded. You go to check your starter villagers' homes to see if after all this time living on the island with you, they finally managed to afford themselves a bed. But nope, that's it. That's their house. It doesn't get better. You never get to see it the way it's supposed to be decorated. And why? Because they're your starter villagers. And for some reason, starter villagers are stuck with the ugliest homes in the whole game. And I have no idea why. Because considering these villagers are the ones that have spent the most time on the island, surely they should have settled in and have lovely houses by now. But nope, the random villagers that move in afterwards will have better houses. But even those ones are all the exact same, depending on their personalities for the first set of villagers that move in for Tom Nook's house quest. It's the villagers that move in after this that have their actual homes. And why did they do this? I have absolutely no idea. It makes zero sense to me. Take me for example, I absolutely love my starter villagers, Fuchsia and Lyman being my sweetest friends ever, and I want to keep them around because I'm super sentimental and I love them. But if I want Lyman and Fuchsia to have the nice comfy homes they deserve, I have to move them out onto another island and then move them back in again, which I don't want to do because they've been with me since day one and I love them. Even if you give them items for the house like a new wallpaper or a piece of furniture for example, they don't use them. So many times I've gifted Fuchsia a bed for her home. I even bought her the massive red bed from the Cute series because I saw it matched her red Cute series items in the home she's supposed to have, so I knew that she would love it. It was really expensive, but you know what? She deserves it. She said thank you and that she'd make space for it, but did she? Nope. She still has this ugly furniture that doesn't suit her at all. And this is one of the features in the game that absolutely sucks, and I feel like there is no reason or excuse for it at all. Sure, some of the villagers don't have nicely decorated homes like they used to, but we do have less furniture in this game because they were rushed, and that's understandable. They are working on adding more furniture series as the game goes on. We've recently had the Sanrio furniture items added, and we get different items depending on different things that are celebrated throughout the world added into the game. But making our villagers be stuck with empty houses, even though they do have fully decorated versions of their homes available, it makes no sense at all, and I really hope they'll fix this issue in an update of some sort. So how could they improve this? Of course, Nintendo could fix the issue of ugly villager homes and change up the interior design for a lot of the villagers once new furniture has been added through updates. However, at this point, we are missing so many features and characters from old games, and it's over a year later, and I just feel like fixing this house interior issue isn't even on their top 20 list of things to improve. But if for some reason they did happen to fix this, what I would actually really love is a happy home designer style update to the game. I'm thinking they bring back Digby, Lottie and Lyle, who visit our island to see if any homes need decorating and can offer us their help. The villagers could even sometimes come to us with a request and say, hey, my home could use a new look, do you think I should change it up? You could say yes or no, and if you say yes, you could go into the home and decorate for them. If this is too difficult for them to implement into the game, they could even add a Digby and Lottie's Happy Home Island that'll work similar to Halves Island, but with replicas of your current villagers' homes that you can head into and decorate. The next day, your villagers' homes will be completely redecorated to the way you chose. This way, it gives the player the choice in how we believe our favourite villagers' homes should look. Because yeah, sure, I might personally think that Drift deserves an outdoorsy jungle-themed house, but depending on your own experience with Drift, it might leave you thinking that a gothic-style metal box is just perfect for him. And that's the magic of Animal Crossing. Everyone's relationships with their villagers is special and unique. You might think of Gala as a cute, kind piggy with a basic cozy style house like I do, or you might think of her as a bank manager who hoards bars of gold in her jail cell. That's all up to your own experiences with these characters. And so, sure, I've complained a lot today about these things, and a lot of them I honestly really do think were just terrible decisions. Like Flora's house, I mean come on. But that doesn't mean that this can't be fixed. The game started out without hardly any characters, and they've since added old characters everyone loves like Red, Leaf and Luna. I definitely think with more time the villagers and their homes can be improved. We've just got to let Nintendo know what we want and then be patient as they work on it. I really do believe the team behind Animal Crossing really does adore this game, and I think they've put all their heart into it. However, I do believe they were rushed with the making of this game, and it really does show sometimes. I personally have a lot of complaints about this game, especially when compared to previous titles, and to be honest, I actually wrote my notes for this video in August 2020, and I'm only just filming this because I was too afraid of saying my opinion, because at the time it really felt like if you would say any criticism of New Horizons you'd be attacked. Recently I've seen more and more people being confident in voicing their opinions, and more people realizing things and being vocal about it, and these are things that I've been talking about privately for so long, so that honestly has made me feel a lot more comfortable in making this video. I do think despite some of these features currently being bad, I'm still going to hold out hope for things to change, and for Brewster, Tortimer, Joan, Dr. Shrunk, Digby and all the others to make a comeback, because I just can't imagine the game feeling complete without them, and I just love them all so much. And I'm sure a lot of the people working on this game love these characters and villagers just as much as we do and want the game to be as best as it can be. But that's all for today, guys. I know this was a little different, but I'd love to hear your thoughts about the villagers and their homes in the comments below. Do you agree with me, or do you think the villagers and their homes are fine the way they are? I honestly think that this is one of the least one of our issues with the game, but I just felt like talking about it today. So yeah, let me know what you think. And if you managed to make it all the way through this video, please do leave a flamingo emoji in honor of Flora's awful house. But with that said, I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please do click the like button and consider subscribing. I hope you're having a super lovely day, and I'll speak to you in my next video. Bye!